Ladies and gentlemen, games are coming out for the Switch 2, and it is cool. And I'm sure some of the games we're waiting for will eventually come out, but for the time being, games are coming out and they're all pretty fun or pretty interesting. But there is one franchise that defines Nintendo, and that is the Super Mario series. Super Mario Odyssey came out in 2017, so it has almost been a full decade since we got a new 3D Super Mario game. Now, we have got other Mario games, and they are fantastic, at least most of them, but there's nothing like playing that new big 3D Mario game. Now we can all try to guess what's going to happen in that next game, and I do think we've got some hints here and there, but recently, in an interview from Shigeru Miyamoto himself, I think they give us a couple hints at what's going to happen in that next game, and I want to talk about it, so let's go and get right into this video. So this isn't going to be one of my regular videos that has like a million topics and a lot of editing and everything. Some recent interviews and articles just came out about the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and Miyamoto talks about things he wants to, I guess, implement in the next Mario games, and I think it gives us a hint at possibly what those next Mario games are going to be or what they are not going to be. So before we get into this, if you could hit a like and subscribe, that would mean the world to me. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter so we can keep the communities growing. And let's go ahead and get right into this one, Buster. So you can find these articles pretty much all over. I'm just pulling this one up from NintendoEverything.com. The Super Mario Galaxy movie dives more into Princess Peach as a character and her backstory. And according to Shigeru Miyamoto, that is something that Nintendo will look to adhere to moving forward. Nintendo Dream recently mentioned to Miyamoto that Princess Peach has been expanded upon in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. He was asked if what's shown can be considered canon. Miyamoto said in a response, "Because we don't know what kind of game we'll make next with our characters, having too many character settings would become a constraint. I'm fine with being bound by the gameplay, but I don't want to be bound by having created a story, which has been the reason for not making movies for many years. So before making this movie, I hadn't decided on the character's backstory, but now that I am making the movie, it's become fun to expand on the character in various ways. Therefore, I would like to adhere as much as possible to the settings created in the movie in future games." And then in the same interview, it's kind of funny, at least to me, he talks about how the movie was I guess treated more harsh by critics in the first movie, and that kind of confused him. But regardless, he's saying that, this whole Princess Peach story in the movie, he wants that to become canon in future games. So when I hear something like that, it leads me at least to believe that the next Mario game will again be focused around saving Princess Peach or have some kind of Princess Peach story. And then you might say, well, you dumbass, of course it has Princess Peach because it is a Mario game. But if you look at some of the most recent Mario games that we have played, we have the Switch 2 edition of Super Mario Wonder, which I think Princess Peach is a playable character, but the whole story is the Wonder Flowers and the seeds, and it's all about Bowser Jr., which was another big part of the Mario movie. And then previous to that, we had Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, which led us into the movie, and a lot of speculation was, well, maybe we're going to get Super Mario Galaxy 3, or maybe something else that had Mario and Rosalina in it, or maybe even a Rosalina spinoff, which I still think is probably on the table at some point. But if you were to sit back and think about what do we need in the next 3D Mario game, and then you think about how Super Mario Odyssey was all the way back in 2017, which, I think objectively it's the greatest Mario game of all time. Now, it could be because I'm a contrarian or because I have bad taste, but my favorite Mario game will always be Super Mario Sunshine, which I know is the black sheep of the 3D Mario games. I'm okay with my favorite Mario game being the worst one, I guess. So if I sit back and think about what do we need in the next 3D Mario game, I think it's going to be a grand tale of Mario going out and saving Princess Peach in the most extraordinary way. And then, when we talk about Zelda games, everybody always says, oh, it'd be cool to have a playable Zelda game, or Zelda would be a playable character. And we got Echoes of Wisdom. And while it's neat, Zelda's my favorite franchise, it's probably one of my least favorite Zelda games ever. It's I wanted to be able to play as Zelda, but maybe not in this setting or this style. So maybe in the next Mario game, not only will you be Mario and you go out and have this grand adventure trying to save Princess Peach, sometime during the game, maybe Mario gets in trouble, and then you have to become Peach and then go try to save Mario, and you switch back and forth. Not in like the GTA 5 character switch, but maybe 80% of the game you're Mario, and then maybe you're Luigi as well, and then you're trying to save Peach. It would be cool to tackle a game from different perspectives, because Princess Peach, while, you know, she's a damsel in distress, she's also a badass character. And I know I'm like a Nintendo fan or whatever, but I do think Nintendo has some of the coolest, like, girl boss characters or whatever you want to say. Like when you look at Disney princesses, some of them seem pretty badass, like Mulan and Jasmine kind of gives me those vibes, but all of the like girl Nintendo characters, they seem like they can all hold their own. I don't know about Daisy, but most of them, I guess. So it would be cool to see how they expand upon this whole story. It's like, oh no, Princess Peach she's in trouble again, and it's time for Mario to go save her. Okay, that's something, right? And he even says in this article, like, being bound by gameplay, maybe they have ideas that they can't implement yet. That's one thing. But being bound by the story or the characters, that's something you don't want to back yourself into. And that's the reason why they didn't make movies for so long. And I actually do think that makes a lot of sense. Because, I mean, if anybody was going to make animated movies, Nintendo just seemed like the perfect choice. And then obviously, what's the movie that you make first? Well, it has to be Mario. So it does seem kind of strange that they waited so long to make a Mario movie. Especially, you know, I don't know how business works, but you would think like during the Wii U era, when everything is just not going great, that would have been the time to make the Mario movie. It's like, look, we need a life float here. Like we need something to save us. And it's like, oh, put out the movie. And then people would go watch the movie, and then maybe they'd go buy a Wii U or something. I don't know. So it seems kind of strange that we waited until 2022 or 2023, I think. But whatever. That's not the point of this whole conversation. The point is, I think that Miyamoto is giving us slight hints at what to expect in the next Mario games. And, you know, this is cool, but when he's saying they don't want to be bound by characters or story, I do think making the future games kind of be canon to whatever happened in the movies, that does kind of bound you a little bit, right? It doesn't mean that they can't make a Mario game about whatever. And I do hope they revisit the whole space theme at some point, because I went back and beat Galaxy 1 and 2 when they were released on the Switch in October. And I think there's so many neat ideas that they could do. There's so many cooler things they could actually do with the Switch 2 now with mouse controls or whatever. So time will tell on all this. But I do think there's some slight hints of the next Mario game in there. And allegedly, from that Nate the Hate big massive leak or whatever, we're not too much further off from at least maybe a reveal. I know they said that the game is releasing in 2027. Now, this could probably be holiday 2027. So we probably won't hear anything official until summer of next year, because this summer, moving forward until March of next year, or April, whenever the Zelda movie comes out, it's going to be all about Zelda for those like 9 months, right? And then when summer hits, they'll start talking about Mario and then moving forward. So, you know, we do have a bit of time now, but I would love to hear some cool leaks or maybe something official or some kind of rumors about this next Mario game, because now it kind of leaves me with more questions than actual answers. But it's cool because, you know, Miyamoto is aging out. So this is probably going to be his last big 3D Mario game that he's even, I guess, a part of, right? You know, I want him to be around forever, but man, go enjoy a retirement at some point. And I know he's not on like officially anymore working on all this stuff. He's kind of more of like a consultant, but it is kind of crazy to think about, like Aonuma, Miyamoto. I don't think Sakurai's that close yet, but a lot of these people during the Switch 2 generation, this is going to be like their last big games that they work on, and then a new generation is going to come in and take over. And that makes me feel kind of old. But ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this? Because your opinion matters most. So in the comments below, I would love to hear from you guys. Truly, what do you expect from that next 3D Mario game? What is your favorite Mario game? Just start a conversation. And yeah, there wasn't a lot of editing in this video because this was my second video of the day, and I have some cooler videos for tomorrow. So let me know what you guys are thinking. Hit a like and subscribe. And you guys know me. I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace.